So, there is one anime this season that I would consider to be my all-time favorite anime of this season, and that anime is Nina the Starry Bride. This anime is incredible for a lot of different reasons, and I'm going to be talking about them in this video. Somehow, I find myself on the edge of my seat every episode when I sit down and watch this show, so I will get into the greatness that is Nina the Starry Bride. So this series actually has so many different themes and things going on and being covered at the same time, but one of the best is how they handle the feeling of being lost. Not physically lost, but emotionally lost. Nina is thrust into a brand new environment and has to learn a whole bunch of new things that she never had to before and meet a whole bunch of new people. She has to stand up for herself and others, and she is lost. She doesn't know what is right and wrong anymore because everything she thought she knew before was taken away from her, and now she has new responsibilities that she has to handle. And then, when she starts to get used to her new environment, she has to move again, and this time to an even worse place. She's in a whole new country, she has to constantly be on edge, and she can't really relax despite how she might show herself. She is feeling lost in what to do. She knows she has to marry this asshole prince for her country and for the protection of the one she loves, but at the same time, she doesn't want to let her people dictate her life. She is in a constant back and forth battle with herself in this anime about what she needs to do and what she wants to do. This series is actually pretty tragic if you look past the face value and the comedic moments in the story. Nina is taken away from her home and all of those she has grown to care about twice, all for the selfishness of other people who she doesn't really care all that much about. She is constantly having to fight for survival even after she is taken out of poverty. She isn't the only one who has gone through similar things in this story either. Azure, the one who initially finds Nina and takes her to the palace, is in a similar boat as her. He was just taken and thrust into the role of prince without a say, and now he is constantly on edge and can't ever really sit back and relax. And besides Azure, I'm sure once we learn more about Asshole Prince's backstory, there is going to be some kind of tragedy involved that caused him to be the way he is. Family is what you make of it. Everybody has a different idea of what family is. Some people say blood runs thicker than water, and others don't necessarily agree with that. Family can be your closest friends, or it could be your actual family. Nina found a family in the two orphan boys she used to live with in the first episode. She thought that she was a part of the family and that no matter what happened, they would be there for each other. That ended up not being true, so she had lost her family for the second time. But she has also found a family in the people of the palace. Her attendants, Azure and Muhlum, all treat her like family, and she also treats them like family. She is away from her family right now, but I have a feeling that it won't be that way for long. She has always been able to make the most of her situations and has been able to find a family and a place to belong even if bad things keep happening. There is some really good romance in this anime right now. Nina and Azure love each other but are forced to be separated due to BS politics. The asshole prince is also slowly coming around to Nina and I think will eventually end up liking her as well. However, I think we are still quite a bit away from that being the case as he is still a complete piece of garbage and doesn't show any care for anyone. But you can see him slowly turning around. It is pretty cool to see how each of the relationships are forming and how this will affect the story and the characters moving forward. Despite some of the darker themes in this anime, there is also some really good comedic moments in this anime as well. Nina is such a funny character. Despite all of the struggles that she has had to go through, she manages to think positively most of the time. Her antics and her personality are really what caused the show to be so funny in the first place, and it just works and really enhances the feel of the series a lot. Nina the Starry Bride has some really well written characters that bring the whole anime together. Nina is someone who is very strong-willed and compassionate as well. She wants to protect the people she cares about most, and she will even sacrifice her own happiness to do so. Nina is someone who can't be beat down emotionally. She will always keep getting back up and continue to fight, and that is what makes her such an incredible main character. Azure is also a great character. He is mature and wise for his age. He is also very strong and protective of those he cares about. He always tries to keep Nina on track, but he always gets caught up in her antics instead. He's a good person who, just like Nina, has been caught up in a lot of the stupid politics of these kingdoms, and he never really should have been. Out of the main characters, the asshole prince, also known as Set, is my least favorite, not because he's a bad character, but because he was written to be unlikable. He is very insufferable, and he keeps trying to make all of these women who get sent to him break. There's just something wrong with him, but I'm sure we'll learn what that is as things pan out in this anime. There are some really good side characters in this show as well. Muhlum is Azure's younger brother and the crown prince, and he is honestly just a really adorable little boy who just wants a close relationship with his brother. He struggles to understand why Azure has put distance between them, but he wants to have a connection with his brother like he does with Nina. Anne and Hikami are also really cool characters. We haven't seen much of them yet, as they have just been introduced as of writing this video, but they have really fun personalities that make them really interesting characters. Plus, both of them seem to have some sort of secret that we have yet to figure out. The character writing in this series is really good and the biggest reason why you should check this show out. Nina the Starry Bride is a really good anime and probably my favorite anime of this season. It is fun with a really interesting world and great characters. This anime has just been great right from the start, and I would definitely be reading the manga after the anime ends because I want to continue this story as it has been insanely good. So that was the video. If you liked it, maybe think about dropping a like and subscribing as well. It helps out a ton. I also have a Discord channel you can join if you want to have a community of people to just talk about whatever nerd stuff you want, which is really cool. And if you do decide to join the community, then I guess I'll see you next week with another video. Bye!